Now to the effort to ban the use of non-disclosure agreements in California's lawmaking process. It is dead for the year. NDAs are legally binding agreements that force those involved to keep discussions confidential. Lawmakers tried twice this year to prohibit them when lawmakers and lobbyists are putting together state laws.
And we have been on this all year. It was a direct response to our reporting on their use as business and labor groups use them in negotiations of California's new fast food minimum wage law. KCRA 3 Capitol correspondent Ashley Zavala has been following this thoroughly since the beginning. She's joining us now with what's going on now with this.
Ty, the latest version of the proposal did not even get a hearing. In fact, Democratic leaders would not allow the latest version to be even put into writing. That proposal would have prohibited specifically lobbyists and lawmakers from using NDAs when negotiating proposed state laws that impact the lives of Californians across the state. Republican Assemblyman Joe Patterson tried to file the latest version of the proposal earlier this summer, but the leader of the state Senate, Pro Tem Mike McGuire, refused to put it into writing. McGuire claims the proposal was too similar to the bill filed earlier this year by former Assemblyman Vince Fong that would have kept pretty much anyone involved in lawmaking from signing them. As we reported earlier this year, that bill died in its first hearing in the Assembly Elections Committee when the Democratic leader of that committee refused to talk to us after she killed the bill. Patterson is vowing to bring back the measure next year.
I firmly believe NDAs should never be used to influence the legislative process. Now, I understand that sometimes maybe companies within each other have NDAs, or maybe the CEOs of two companies or something like that. But once you come into a public process, signing an NDA, I'm just fundamentally opposed to that. And so we will reintroduce it next year. And, you know, we'll have to get a hearing, hopefully, or at least it'll be put in print.
Now, I interviewed Senate Pro Tem Mike McGuire, who would not put Patterson's bill into writing, about this.
Are you first aware that they have ever been used, and are you okay with their use in policy making, in the agreement of any kind of public project?
I think that when there are trade secrets that are being discussed, absolutely. I don't think that there's an ability to be able to bring together corporations, for example, that are going to be discussing trade secrets. In general, I think I've actually shared this with you, and I think maybe I shared some with other members of the press. I don't think in general NDAs are needed.
But for now, they are still allowed in the state's lawmaking process.
I know, Ashley, again, you have covered this extensively. So this year, we know you covered lawmakers and the governor approving a new law that does prohibit businesses from using NDAs. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's right. This was recently businesses in California can no longer use NDAs when they're deciding whether to give a customer a refund for a service or a product. The author of that bill, Assemblymember Akilah Weber, abstained from voting on the first version to ban them in the lawmaking process. She flat out ignored weeks worth of requests for an interview before referring me to her comments during that hearing, in which she basically said that the first version of the proposal was rushed. So
all of this is so fascinating. A lot more still to come.
Still to come.
Ashley's on it, as always.
I'll
Thank
try.
you.
Thank you.